Hello everybody and welcome to Bright Weird. Interesting subject this one, and only a very short video. Now I've put this video together as a companion for my next video, which is going to be about alchemy and the Emerald Tablet. But in this video I need to speak about two things to prepare for that, and those two things are the Exoteric and the Esoteric. So without any further ado, this is Bright Weird. So as I've just stated, I needed to make this short video as a companion to my next video, which will be about a little bit about alchemy and the Emerald Tablet. So in this video, I'm going to speak about two things primarily, and those things sound very similar but are very different. One is the exoteric and the other the esoteric. First of all, I'd like to speak about the exoteric. Exoteric literally means outer knowledge. Knowledge that's intended for or likely to be understood by the general public as a whole. Exoteric knowledge is the operation of learning from books, from other people's opinions, and in part, your own experiences in life. It's learning from things external to your body. Going to a traditional school or being told by another could be considered exoteric operations. Most people learn from the exoteric. Now let's talk a little bit about the esoteric. Esoteric means inner or hidden knowledge, intended or likely to be understood only by a small number of people with specialized knowledge or interest. Esoteric knowledge is the operation of seeking answers not from the external world, but from within oneself. Esotericism often involves knowledge that's only intended to be revealed to people who have been initiated into certain groups. But it should be noted that true esoteric knowledge requires no group, no initiation, just intuition and a firm relationship with one's inner self. Most of the human race are predominantly exoteric, meaning that most of what they have learned is from the outer sphere of influence. The greatest danger to learning is the exoteric. For the scholar who spends his lifetime learning other people's opinions, other people's work, from other people's books, can easily become firmly polarized, stubborn, and totally closed off to new ways of thinking. Over the last few years, I have, for the most part, had kind and constructive feedback from my lectures and talks. On occasion, I've been violently attacked, though, by people who firmly believe they know it all, having read and studied the works of others. Some people don't like the way I might approach certain subjects, as I may offer a different opinion, an opinion that I recognise could be total horse manure. But the point I'm trying to make is that exoteric scholars can at times become firmly polarised. And I get that when someone studies something their entire life in an exoteric manner, they might feel offended or threatened by an esoteric opinion, which may be fundamentally different to what they have worked so hard for so long to understand. And it is well to adopt the opinion that no matter how much you have learnt from both exoteric and esoteric spheres of influence, that you must remember that really you know nothing at all. An esotericist should always be open to alternative theories, and I mean we all should, really, shouldn't we? So what is inner knowledge? The esotericist believes that everything a person needs to know can be found within. The nature of the esoteric is to tap into the inner unconscious genius that resides inside all of us. To the uninitiated and popular world, the inner genius is unreachable and unknowable. The inner subconscious genius that's subtle and hidden inside every one of us is in part consequence of evolution, because if the inner genius was not hidden inside, we would not function well as humans. The inner genius hears and remembers every action and everything that's happened in your life. And imagine how difficult it would be if at all times and at every moment you were presented in precise detail with what you ate 17 and a half years ago for lunch, or that you could recall with horror at every moment, every explicit detail of every pain and suffering you have experienced in your life. Those kind of distractions would likely prevent you from eating. The volume of the subconscious inner genius is intentionally turned all the way down so not to interfere with the sustainment of our mortal frames, which is the primary function of your conscious waking mind. I suppose that you could say that the operation of esotericism is to use the inner genius as a tool, to look within yourself for answers. And it's my firm belief that if you read a text, the words wash over and may influence you. But if you consciously memorize a text, the words actually become part of you. And that might sound like a paradox because I've already stated that the inner genius subconsciously sees and remembers everything. So why bother consciously memorizing a text? Well, it could be like this, that if you consciously memorize a text, then that operation will match perfectly the subtle process of the subconscious. In essence, the text will be memorized by the subconscious and the conscious mind simultaneously, thus bringing them together in a harmonic union. This will form a bridge between your conscious and unconscious minds, as above, so below, with the text you memorize being focused on both consciously and unconsciously simultaneously. It's like saying to your unconscious inner self, hey, that thing you just memorized, I've memorized it too. Now we have something in common and it's important. The inner mind will then go away and analyze this important thing like a background computing process and consider every aspect of it in an esoteric manner your waking mind could not. So to summarize, exoteric knowledge is learned from external stimuli and esoteric knowledge comes from within. Hopefully this short video will serve as a foundation to the esoteric parts of my next video, which introduces alchemy and something called the Emerald Tablet. One final thing. It should be considered that many exoteric books were in the beginning, of course, esoteric works. There was a time before books and written text, a time when the only way of learning was from within, learning from your inner genius, learning from your inner God. To quote the Bible, John chapter 1 verse 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. I know, it's a really difficult and heavy subject, but all I wanted to express in that video today was that there are two spheres of influence. There's the exoteric, learning from external stimuli, and the esoteric, learning from within. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and maybe this will give a bit of a foundation for the next one that's coming about alchemy, an introduction to alchemy, and the Emerald Tablet. I'm Steve, this has been Bright Weird. Thanks for watching.